just well past 7:30. So let's actually get started, guys. So today it's a nice small group to work with. What we're going to be working on is making X the subject. So basically what I've got here is I've got 3 different types of questions from like the past few years, and we'll, as always, what I'll do is like we'll go through each one question one at a time, and if there's any kind of problems, then I'll actually go through it with you guys. Now look, if anybody wants to get a head start on these questions, just take a screenshot of this right now if you want to, or just check up Google, check up the link that I've actually given in my description, and you can access this particular document, and then you should be able to kind of start your own work on it. So these are the kind of 3 questions that I'm looking at. I'll also look in the past papers to see if there's another couple of good questions I picked up, an excellent question. But yeah, so we'll get started with the first one here. So as always, guys, I'm going to give you guys some time to kind of just play around with it. So I'm going to give you about I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes to try question A. Let me just kind of make that a bit big right there. So have a go with question A, and then after a couple of minutes I will actually go through the steps, and we'll actually see if we can actually try and work it through. So today's theme is a bit just rearranging. So we're rearranging for X at the moment, and I've picked up one more question that's from way back, but it's a really good rearranging question, which we'll kind of do to finish off. So give you guys a couple of minutes, have a go at this, and then I'll go through the answer. Yep, that's a S signs to go. Sorry, Beckham, that's a okay, let's try that. Maybe it is an S, but I think that's better, isn't it? Beckhamster, if you're finding the questions A to C easy, I'll put up question D somewhere else, and then you can try and do question D. I just need to try and figure out how to put this without, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Okay, let me just put question D somewhere. Yeah, so I'll put one more question there at the end there, guys, if you guys want to try and have a go at it, but for those of you guys that are kind of flying through it. Cool, so let's actually go through this question. Can you do this question without logs? I don't think it's actually possible. You've got to actually use logs. You got to use logs for this. I don't think there's any other way of well, is there? Well, let me have a look. What has he done? T cubed a squared. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible without logs. So I'm gonna start doing this, guys. Like, so the first step obviously I have to do is logs, because the problem here is with this question is when you look at the basis, right? So this is a letter and this is another letter. So we can't really do anything with these two things here because we can't really find a relationship between those two things. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to actually take logs for both sides. So what we're going to end up with, log of s to the power of 2x plus 1 equals, and we're also going to take log on this side, So that's going to be log of t to the power of 3x. And if you guys remember, when we actually do logs of exponents with powers, what you could do is you could actually bring the power right to the front and change it into a multiplication sign. So what's going to happen is you're going to have 2x plus 1 multiplied by log of s equals 3x times log of t. Yep, I did t. If it's about this question, just feel free to ask in the chat. If it's a question about something else, well, if it's a question, like you have an actual question, feel free to just send it to my email, man. Anyway, let's keep kind of going through with this. Now, the part that's actually important here is that the 2x plus 1 log s, we've got to actually expand it out, all right? So what we're going to do is we've got to go 2x times log s, and then we've got to do 1 times log s. So when we actually do this, we are going to end up with, let's just try a different color. So we're going to get 2x log s, and then 1 times log s is just going to be log s. And now this is all equal to 3x log t. So at this point, what we can kind of see is we've kind of separated the logs, and we've also got 2x on one side and we've got 3x on the other side. So you could actually bring both of those x's to the same side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2x log s. Whoa. No. Whoa. What just happened there? Crashed. Nice. Sorry guys, this tablet is getting old. It's about 4.5 years old. It's not doing too bad. So what we've got is, I'm going to leave 2x log s here, but I'm going to bring over the 3x log t. When I bring it over, it's going to become minus 3x log t, and this is all equal to log s. I'm going to take it to the other side, and if I take it to the other side, it is going to become minus log s. Nah, OneNote actually died. Cool. So at this point, what we can do is we can actually take x as a common factor out, because if you guys look at it, we've actually got x in both of those terms. So we're going to take x out as a common factor. So if I take out x as a common factor, I'm going to end up with, it is going to crash again, I get a feeling. 2 log s minus 3 log t, and this is now equal to minus log s. So at this point, I can actually just rewrite this as x is equal to negative log s, and the whole thing is divided by 2 log s minus 3 log t. That would be the same as log s divided by 3 log t minus 2 log s. Yep, that's fine, Beckhamster. Is that the same as log t cubed? Hang on, I'm just trying to look at this questions. Log t cubed over s squared. Yes, that would work as well, Daniel. You could also do it like that as well. Possible. Anthony, I can't remember this question. I think it might be an excellence. I'm just trying to think, man. This was in a recent year. I honestly can't remember now. I think it might be an E. I could be wrong. but it was actually a recent paper, so I probably would check. Just give me 1 second. Let me just check one of the papers, because this is very similar to one of the questions from 2016, I think. Let me just have a quick look. Was it 2016? No, 2016 was a different one. Maybe 2017 then. Sorry guys, I just can't remember where I got this question from. No, 2017 was a different one. 2018? 2018 single fraction, blah blah blah. Nah, that's not 2018 as well. So what other paper am I missing? Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know where I actually picked up this question from. So it could end up being an E or an M. It's definitely not an achieved. That much I know. So do you guys want another question like A, or are you happy with it and want to go on to question B? Cool. So looks like we're going to B. Yep, sweet. So we'll go to B. So with what I'll do is, like, I'll leave B up there for you guys to try out, and I will I'll put another question at the bottom, because I know a couple of people want another question. So I'll put like A part 2, and then those of you guys that are wanting to try B, you can try B, and then I'll go through A part 2, and then I'll go through B as well. All right, so question A part 2, I'll give you guys a similar type of question. And we're gonna do, I'll make it a little bit more interesting. I don't think I can. Yeah, it's alright. Just leave that there. Have a go with that one, guys. A part 2. Those of you guys that are trying question B, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a hint. The hint is this. Just those two numbers there is the hint. No stress, Mochi. You haven't missed much. Just missed one question so far, and I'm going to do a part 2 of that question. So cool, you guys are starting to cool. So what I'll do is I'll go through question A2, and then after that I'm going to go through question B. So if you guys have those of you guys that are trying A2, I'm just going to kind of go through it real quickly, and if other guys are actually just kind of working through it, that's fine as well. You guys can just bear with me. All right, so as always, we're going to take logs for both sides. So what we end up with is log of b to the power of 2x and log of c to the power of 3x minus 1. So as always, the power is going to come into the front. So we're going to have this as 2x log b equals 3x minus 1 times log c, and then we're going to expand the bracket. So when we expand the bracket, we're going to get 3x log c minus log c, and on this side we've got 2x log b. So bring all the terms together, so we've got 2x log b minus 3x log c equals negative log c. Just going to change one thing. So at this point we've actually got x as a common factor, so we're going to take x out as a common factor, and what we're going to end up with is 2 log b minus 3 log c, and that's equal to minus log c. Did I just end up writing the same question in a different way? Oh, wow, I didn't even realize that. My bad, guys. So then we've got x is equal to minus log c over 2 log b minus 3 log c. Very similar to that other question. Really strange, unless I made a mistake somewhere. Ooh, okay. I was just wondering, I was like, Mochi, I'm guessing you're not actually from Auckland then, because probably if you're going into school tomorrow, you're probably not in Auckland. It's plus 8 from the 3x minus 2. Log c, 3 log c. Now that's fine, science to go, because when you have that negative there, the two negatives actually disappear. Okay, now all good, Mochi. All right, cool. Are we okay with A2? Can we go to question 2? Yep, Mochi, got it. How would it look like when you expand 3x minus 2? Okay, so Harrison, if it was 3x minus 2 in this case, then it would look like this. So 3x times log c would be 3x log c, and then minus 2 times log c would be minus 2 log c, like that. Is that all right? Cool. So yeah, so they pretty much have the same rules as expanding like expressions. All right, guys. So I'm hoping you guys picked up the tip for this one, and the tip was that in this case we don't actually have we don't have two letters. We actually have two numbers, and the two numbers are actually connected here, like 16 and 32 is. You should remember this from last year, that they are actually base 2. So what you could actually do is replace 16 with 2 to the power of 5. That's now raised to the power of 3 minus 2x. Sorry, not 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 4. And then the next one is we've actually got 32 as 2 to the power of 5, which is then to the power of rx. Yes, you can actually use logs for b, Beckham, but I'm going to show you why you don't need to use logs, because this is one of those questions where you can actually not use. I'll show you guys both methods. I'll show you guys both methods, like what happens when you use logs and what happens when you don't use logs. So the first method I'm going to show you guys is without logs. So all I've done is I've just replaced 16 with 2 to the power of 4. Yep, made that mistake. Sorry, Daniel, got it. And 32 as 2 to the power of 5, right? So once I get that, what I can then do is remember that when you have power of powers, you actually multiply the two powers. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2 to the power of 4 times 3 minus 2x, and that's equal to 2 to the power of 5 times rx. Now this is I'm hoping that this is starting to remind you guys from remind you guys about what you guys did last year. What do you mean by Jamie? How did you even see it? Are you talking about the 16 and 32? Or the question? Oh, question C. Okay. Yeah, no, Jamie, the OneDrive, there's a link in my description. You can actually go there and see all the questions. It's a live document. All right, anyway, going back to question B. So because what we have is both of the bases are the same here. See, notice how we put 2 as a base and 2 as a base on the other side as well. So because of that, what we can then say is whatever this power is should equal to this power. Because if you think about it, if 2 is in the base and you got 2 to the power of something equals 2 to the power of something else, then those two something and something else should be equal to each other. So in other words, I can completely forget about the 2 and just write this as 4 times 3 minus 2x equals 5 times rx. Yeah, they're equal. So at this point, we go back to our classic expanding here. So we've got 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times negative 2x, which is equal to negative 8x, and this is equal to 5rx. So at this point, we again need to do what we did in the previous question. We bring all the x's together on one side. So we're going to rewrite this as 5rx minus 8x. When it comes to the other side, it becomes plus 8x. And then you've got 12 equals to, we can't really combine these two things, but what we can see is that x is a common factor. So we're going to take x out as a common factor, which means we're going to get 5r plus 8. And then the next step is getting rid of the 5r plus 8, and that's going to get divided on the other side. So our final answer is x is equal to 12 over 5r plus 8. So yeah, Daniel, you can use logs, but I think if you use logs, you're gonna have a log, obviously, and ending up with a log and a different answer. Do you guys want me to show you what would happen if you use logs, or are you happy with it? Yeah, Mochi, it's just kind of, you got to recognize when to factorize. It's like, no, I'll show you guys how to do it with logs as well. Might just need a different space. Give me 1 second. So same question here, but we're going to use it with logs. I'm kind of going to fly with this one, guys, because I'm realizing that, this is just kind of like show and tell almost. So as always, the first step is we're going to take logs for both sides. Next step is bringing the power to the front. So we're going to get 3 minus 2x times log 16 equals rx times log 32. So then expand the brackets. So I think, Harrison, you were actually asking me about this. What happens if there's a number? So we're going to go 3 times log 16. That's going to be 3 log 16 minus 2x times log 16 equals rx log 32. So the next step is shifting all the x's to one side. I'm going to get rx log 32. This is going to become plus 2x log 16, and then from this point I can see that x is a common factor, so I can take out x as a common factor. So I'm going to get 3 log 16 equals x r log 32 plus 2 log 16, and then eventually I'm going to get x is equal to 3 log 16 divided by r log 32 plus 2 log 16. So as you can see, like, you know, you've got both methods there. They're both going to work out correct. I'm just trying to think. Would I give that as correct? I probably would give it correct, because the thing is, my question was to rearrange for x. Oh, did I say solve for? Yeah, it's a rearrangement question. So therefore, you know, you are actually rearranging and leaving x by itself. So I'd actually say, yeah, you can possibly leave it. Not necessarily in this case, Brevish. I'm just trying to think. Nah, you're gonna complicate it, man. I think that's why I kind of like, when you see like numbers like 16 and 32, you can actually take it out, like get rid of it with the base 2. See, I think if they said solve for x, then you'd have to give an answer. But if it's like rearrange, then you can potentially, I think some answers you've got to rearrange like to simplified versions. So yeah, I'm kind of going to keep it there. Cool. Can we go to question C? Factorization. Quadratic equation with A, they asked me to do factorization. Yeah, I actually kind of cheat with the quadratic, like I kind of use the quadratic equation for that. Okay, here we go. Nice and kind of a much less complicated one here for you guys to try. I should have really started with this question, but this actually popped up 2 years ago, I think, as a merit question, if I remember correctly. So it's not too bad. I mean, you guys have worked much complicated ones so far, so. No rearranging questions there. I think I found the question 1 that we just did. It was from 2013, which would have been schedule 2013. Wow. So you know how we did question A? Question A was actually given as an excellence question back in 2013. So it was not a merit. Back in 2013, that was an excellence question. Cool. I'll wait another minute, guys, and then I'll go through the answer pretty. I think you guys are a couple of different answers. Oh, you're talking about D. Oh man, we've got 3 different answers. Damn. Okay. This is suddenly getting interesting. I thought you guys would be all good. Nah, there's no logs in this question, Daniel. It's all just basic fraction equals to a fraction. Alright, I'm just going to look for another question, so be right back. What was in 2017? Ah, 2017. Beautiful question. I'll modify it for you guys. Okay, so let's actually go through C first. So with C, when you have a fraction equals to another fraction, the first thing you really want to be doing is cross multiply in this case, because we want to get rid of those denominators, right? So when we cross multiply this, we're going to get 5 times a times x minus 2 equals 4x times 3. So at this point, we expand the brackets. We're going to get 5ax minus 10a equals 12x. Rearrange this, so we're going to get 5ax minus 12x equals negative 10a. When it goes to the other side, it becomes positive 10a. Now what we have is our x is a common factor, so we're going to take x out as a common factor, which means we're going to get 5a minus 12 equals 10a, and then x is equal to 10a divided by 5a minus 12. J science, you got negative 10a over 12 minus 5a. That's also fine. Yep, that's fine, Revish, because yeah, like if you get rid of that negative, then you should be all right. And again, I think this question was actually a merit question. I don't think this was an achieved question. At least not to my... It looks pretty easy to be a merit question. All right. Now, if they do it the other side, Saber, then what happens is they'll get negative 10a over 5a minus 12, 12 minus 5a. No, Mochi, because you're actually shifting. When you cross multiply, what you're doing is you're taking the denominator to the opposite side, to the numerator. So basically the 5 is actually ending up here, and the 3 is ending up there. Yep, any other questions, guys, with C? Can we move on to D? Which I'm sure I would like to see what some of you guys got for D. I was meant to mess you guys up in that one. Would you use the quadratic formula? Taranjot? Not for this one, because there's no quadratics here at all. It's all linear. You're going to use quadratic when you see an x squared. And in this case, you're not seeing an x squared, so it's no point. Cool. Go to D. Yeah, this one here. Welcome to the deep end, folks. Now, what I've actually done is with this one, this is slightly, I know it's not about rearranging, but it kind of covers rearranging and exponents together. And I actually think if you give me an answer like that, Beckham, I'm not going to accept it. I actually want a value for it. And in this one, you can actually, it says solve, Beckham. If you look at it, it says solve. It's not rearranging. I know I said rearranging was the theme of the tutorial, but there is some sort of rearranging going on here. Log 15. It's I mean, if you guys attended my first tutorial in that I did in this series, tutorial 1, we did exponents. So I'm gonna give you guys a clue, I don't want to actually, do it for you guys, but this is actually connected to that first tutorial that I did. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of sidetracking a little bit, but it kind of connects up. So the only clue I'm going to give you guys is this. Okay, here's the clue. I should have given you guys a little bit more easier numbers, but that's all right. I'll wait for a couple of more answers. I've got 2 answers right now. I've got 18.6, -8. Oh, I've got 3 answers now. Okay, I've got 3 answers that I'm looking at right now. Daniel's got 2 up there, 18.6 and -18.6. Can you use a calculator? Yes, Daniel, you can actually. Sorry, Science Ago, you can use a calculator because at level 2 you're allowed a calculator. It's just at level 1 MCAT you're not allowed. Anthony, have a look at that clue that I've given you. Once you get that, you'll be fine. No, it's not too hard, man. Trust me on this. Just have a look at that clue and see if you can find a pattern, because once you find that initial pattern, the rest of the question is actually really, really straight up. $20.28. Okay, shall we go through the answer for this one? I think this is the stink part about doing a live stream tutorial, is that I don't get to actually see you guys working out, because that's what the best part is, because you can actually learn from other people's mistakes. But anyway, we are gonna go through this question. What did Taranjot get? -0.513. That's awesome. Like, look, when you guys getting wrong answers, you're gonna actually learn from it, because it'll be like one little mistake that you made somewhere, and that means you're gonna actually understand that concept a little bit better. So we've got, I think, 3 different answers here. No, Leon's got the same one as well. All right, I'm gonna do this. So the reason why I gave you guys that clue is because if you have a look at the power, there is an x in both of those powers. So that means I could actually rewrite this as 7 to the power of 1 times 2 to the power of -3, and that whole thing is now to the power of x. Let me know if you guys understood what I just did there, because if you didn't understand that, that's where the problem is. So Anthony, did you just see what I just did there? No, you can't do that. Revish, definitely no. Cannot do that, because those 2 bases are different. Sweet, Anthony, that means you've already done the hard work, because look, what's the next step? We can actually rewrite this as 7 over 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x equals 15. Now we can't multiply it, Mochi, because remember, those, you can only multiply it if the powers are the same. All right, if the, like, say for example, it's like 7x times 2x, then you can write this as 14 to the power of x, but you won't be able to add those 2 things like that. So once we get this we can rewrite this as 7 over 8 to the power of x equals 15. Then take logs of both sides. So we're going to take log here of 15. So what's going to happen is we're going to get log 7/8 x log of 15. Our next step is bring x to the front. We're going to get x log 7 over 8 equals log 15, and then x equals log 15 divided by log 7/8, which is we got minus 20.28. Yeah. Yeah, Anthony, that's it, mate. Like, that's why it's once you get that pattern going and you recognize this type of question, then you should be able to kind of solve it pretty much straight up after that. Jamie, did you guys actually do it in a different way with logs? Oh yeah, I see what you would have done. You would have done log A times log B, and then you separate it with a plus. Yeah. I know what you did. So you got that couple of extra steps. Cool. So let me pick up another question for you guys, and this one was actually from 2017. I think this question now you guys will nail it, because it is, yeah, you've got the hang of it. But this is not going to be a solve one. I'm going to give you another rearranging one. Well, let me actually check. By the way, guys, do you guys know how to check whether your answer is correct on the graphics calculator? Do you need me to quickly show you guys how to work it out? Welcome back, Jamie. Okay, so if you do have a graphics calculator and you want to learn how to check it right, you've got to use the solve thing. So if you guys want to just watch the screen, I'll show you guys. So go into menu and go down to equation. Once you go to equation, just click on solver, which is F3. So that's the solver button, F3. So I'm going to click on that, and then here I just need to type the equation. So I'm going to go 7 to the power of x, and the x that I'm going to use is underneath the red alpha button. So it's 7 to the power of x multiplied, and then I'm going to put 2 to the power of, I'm going to put negative 3x in a bracket, so negative 3 times x, and now that's equals. Now equals is actually shift decimal point. So if I go shift and decimal point, I'm going to get equals, put the 15, press enter, and then there's a little solve button here, which is F6. You click on that, that solves it, and there's your answer. So now if you just write the answer, you will get no grade for this question, but at least with a question like this, you can check your answer to see whether you've actually done it correctly or incorrectly, or at least close to it. Yes, Saber, you got to show the log working or power rearrangement or something. You can't just put the answers in straight away. So just remember that if you guys are doing algebra paper, and if you're only doing 2 papers like algebra or calculus, then you still got 3 hours for those papers, right? It's only those guys that are doing stats as well that's going to end up with 3 hours. Beckhamster, What you got to do is you got to click on solve, man. If you don't click on solve, it'll still be on x equals to 0. So solve is that F6 button. Yeah, as Revish said, that's the other way you could do it as well. So the other way you could do it is go back to your normal calculator. Say you got your normal calculator. Just type in 7 to the power of negative 20.28. And then multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 3 times negative 20.28. And if your answer is like close to 15, then you know you've done the right thing as well. Science-Go, yeah, Mathix got cancelled, but I'm trying to work with somebody to figure out a way of whether we could actually do it in another way. So yeah, we're going to be finishing off at 8:30. So guys, I'm going to put up one more question, and I think we're going to be done after that. But this was an excellence question. Let me just check very quickly to see what last year's rearranging was like, and I can just make another question based on it. Or did they not have one in last year? Rearranging. No, that's right, they didn't actually have one last year. That's alright. I'm going to give you guys this question here, question E. I think this question E is from 2 years ago, which was an excellence question. I couldn't believe that it was an excellence question, but we'll try it out. By the way, any other questions with question D? We're okay? Mochi, I give you let her know that you've got another 12 minutes and then you're done with the tutorial. Yes. Alright, so here we go. Where is this question coming up? No, we're all good. So that means we're going to go to this question. Where was it? There we go. How we want to do this? Okay, let's try this. Sorry guys, just need a calculator. Give me 1 second. We are going to be rearranging this question, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to make another letter. Oh, and actually it's fine. We can just do X. That's fine. So last question for the night, guys. I did a mistake. That's all right. I think there was a similar question like this. That was excellence in. Okay. Let's just do that again. Z. Man, how do I write a 2? Oh, that way. There we go. Can actually do it this way. Yeah, so the bracket, Mochi, is the full power. So it's 64 to the power of xy, z, xy over z minus 2. So again, you could use logs for this question, or you could use you could use powers as well. So Jamie, I will not give you full marks for that answer. Have a look at why. Have a look at your answer and tell me why. Yep. You'll never realize what they pick on, man, for an excellence question. So you want to make sure that you get. Same with you, Daniel. Same problem as Jamie. Sweet. Seems like you guys got the hang of these types of question. Cool. So I'm gonna do this question real quickly, and then we'll see. We still got a bit of time to burn, so I might actually have to find another question. But just give me a second. Let's do this one real quickly. So 256. 256, is that 2 to the power of 8? Yeah, 2 to the power of 8. And then 64 is 2 to the power of 6. And that's actually raised to the power of xy over z minus 2. So, because the two bases are the same, we've got 2 as the base, then we can actually say the two powers must equal each other. So that means we can say that 8 is equal to 6 multiplied by xy over z minus 2. We're going to get 8, and we've got 6. Whoa, expanding the brackets here, guys. So 6 times this ugly thing and 6 times negative 2. So we're going to get 6xy over z minus 12. Rearranging it, we're going to get 6xyz. We're going to get 8. We're going to get 12. 12 plus 8. So kind of carrying on here, we're going to get 20 equals 6xyz. Cross multiplying the z, we're going to get 20z is equal to 6xy. And then 6x, no, just x itself. So I'm going to get 20z divided by 6y. And simplifying it, I'm going to get x is equal to 10z over 3y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up some line numbers and just let me know if which line where people are having some issues, if they have any issues. Oh, welcome Mr. Ricciardi. Good to see you here. I'm not gonna lie, sir, I'm missing teaching level 2 and level 3s. Year 10s are fun, but it's always good fun to do level 2 in the nighttime. Yeah, you could use 4 as well, man. It'll still work as well. So I think if you use 4, it will automatically be simplified, right? Because you're going to get 4 to the power of 3. Neil, have you actually looked at my working out for that? Like, you can actually look at my past exam papers, man. Just in this video, Neil. Is that Neil? Yes, Neil. So basically in this video there's a little link to a website in the description here. So if you go to the website, and let me just show you where all the answers are. Just drop down to level 2, go to Algebra NCEA exams, and I think you said, was it question 1D? So go to 2017 there. The explanation for 1D should be there, buddy. So see if you can go through that first, and then if you still don't understand, then come back and I'll try and help you out. Alrighty, so let's just see what do we've got. I think Mochi number 4. Oh, Mochi, are you all good now, or? Revish, is that 3 divided by y? I would actually put it as 3y, man. On step 4, I changed it to 8z. No, Harrison, you can't do that. You cannot do that, Harrison, because if you, how do I put it? On step, going from step 3 to step 4, you can't actually do 8z. That doesn't work like that, because that, you've got to think about it. You only do that if the whole right hand side is divided by z, but only half of the right hand side is divided by z, so you can't just do cross multiplication in that case. Are we doing one more? What's our time? Nah, I think we're gonna call it, guys. Jordan, it's at the moment I'm doing Tuesdays, man. So Mondays I'm doing level 1, Tuesdays I'm doing level 2, Wednesdays it's supposed to be level 3s, but I always end up kind of skipping those guys. But yeah, 432. Okay, Mochi, all good. Yep, sweet. Alright guys, so I'm actually gonna call the session at this point here. So when are we doing level 2 calculus? At the moment, tomorrow I'll have to do a level 3 session, but I might have to do actually like just do a little survey just to see what I can actually run tomorrow. GU, no, I don't do any Cambridge tutorials, man, because I don't even teach NCEA level anymore. I'm just doing this on the night time just to help out a few people here. Don't worry, Beckham, there's heaps of my level 3 material there already, because level 3 is what I started with, so there's heaps of material there already for it. But I think level 1 MCAT has got the most amount of material. Anyway guys, that's me. Keep an eye on the socials, just in case if I pop up earlier on than the Tuesday to drop a session, then yeah, just keep an eye on the socials. And yeah, please, one big favor that I could ask you guys is this: can you please share this site and my website or my channel to other people, because there's heaps of material that people don't actually realize they can actually access. Do I have any revision materials? Nah, not on my own. I usually just create my own questions in the tutorials. Yeah, no worries, man. You guys are welcome. Level 2, yeah, Beckhamster, I need to work on it, but I'm just getting a bit caught up with my own school stuff at the moment. Yeah, Jamie, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Always, it's always good fun. Alright guys, that's me today. I will catch you next time, and as always, if you have any questions or just doubts, just drop it to my email, and as I said, I've got a bit of a backlog of questions to do. I will get to it this next couple of days, hopefully. So see you guys, have a good one.